Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira, I am a Brazilian attorney, and today we're going to be answering this question. Should I get a work contract when applying for the Brazil Digital Nomad Visa, even if I am a business owner? And the answer is yes, definitely. Towards the beginning of our applications for the Digital Nomad Visa, and this visa is still kind of new. It was launched like in 2022, so it has been around for roughly just a single year. So when we started applying for this visa on behalf of our clients, we would hear from our clients this type of question. Listen, I have a business entity. I am the owner of the entity. So I'm not an employee, and therefore I'm not going to provide you a work contract. Instead, I'm gonna give you these papers about my entity. Usually, our clients, they would provide us with a certificate of incorporation or an operating agreement or some type of document proving that they were the owners of the entity. And for our clients' disbelief, the immigration would almost always decline accepting these documents. They would basically just say, where is the work contract? So in the Brazilian immigration understanding, it does not matter if you are the owner of the company, you should still have a work contract explaining the relationship between you and the company. So our recommendation is don't try to educate the Brazilian immigration. Instead, try to make the lives of the immigration analysts easier by just providing something that's going to allow them to check a box. All right, this applicant has a work contract. And if you own the company, there is nothing precluding you from getting a work contract between your own entity and yourself, as long as it is a real contract, right? As long as you're paying yourself in accordance to whatever this contract says, there is nothing wrong with it. The upside is that, again, you make it easier for the immigration to understand that you are meeting this requirement of working as a digital nomad. Another requirement for the work contract is that it says that you are able to work remotely. This language gotta be somewhere. If you deliver a work contract with 50 pages and the analyst is gonna go through page by page, and if they don't find language saying that you are able to work remotely, they are gonna flag this document as incomplete, and they are gonna ask you to complement with a letter from the company, from your employer, saying that you are able to work remotely. Therefore, if you're gonna start a new application, if you are in the process of obtaining the documents for the application, you should ask your employer to provide you, for instance, with a cover letter explaining that you are able to work remotely. That's pretty important. And we've been applying on behalf of clients with employers like very large employers, like Fortune 500 employers, and we never had a single situation in which the employer would refuse to provide such a letter, especially because nowadays, after COVID, it's pretty common for people to be able to work remotely. Another thing you need to consider for the work contract is that it must meet the same name of the entity showing on the bank statement. If there is a discrepancy between those two documents, the immigration is going to say, listen, you say you are working for this entity, but you're being paid by someone else. You got to provide the documents explaining this discrepancy. So if there are, and it's kind of common, like in the US, you're working for a specific entity, but there is a second entity actually handling the payroll and paying into your bank statement, you need to provide the supporting documents to show that although the name of the company on your bank statement is different than your employer, they are actually paying on behalf of your employer. Finally, don't forget that when you are applying in Brazil, when you are applying through an attorney located in Brazil, all the documents, they need to be translated so the Brazilian immigration is going to be able to understand the paperwork. So this is it for the work contract. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to download the 7 most common mistakes made by foreign citizens when applying for the Digital Nomad Visa. This is an ebook that it has been very helpful for many applicants, and you can find the link below to download the ebook and follow us for more tips.